I study best in the mornings, so the first thing I do is go to the cafe at 8 a.m. when they first open, and I get breakfast. To be completely honest, I accidentally deleted the footage of me studying of this day, and what you're seeing now is not from today, but I had it on hand and thought it would be a decent replacement. And then around 1 or 2 p.m., I went to the Real Meats Butcher and I got a chicken fajita and a drink. I wanted to eat it outside, but it was super cold and windy, so I ended up taking it home. So I actually just got back from picking up this maid of honor's dress for my sister's wedding. Her theme is sunflowers, burlap lace, and burgundy roses, so I think it matches really well. Then I go back to studying a little bit more. So basically what I'm working on is I just have 2 exams left, stats and software engineering, and my stats exam is tomorrow, which I'm all ready for. So I'm just catching up on lectures for my software engineering class, which the exam is on Monday. For a break, I really wanted to go for a bike ride, but it was just way too cold, so I decided to paint instead, and I had to pick between which painting I wanted to work on. I just want to give a little introduction to my paint palette that I haven't cleaned in 8 years. She is very beautiful to me. I've been on a huge abstract kick lately, so that's the painting I decided to work on. I have just been really enjoying expressing my emotions through colors, shapes, and forms, and so that's what I'm doing here. Basically, I really like how even if you make a mistake, it's just adding more texture and depth to the painting, and you just never know how it's going to look when you're finished, and I really like that. It's just like layering on a day every time I work on it and how I felt that day. And sometimes one day will replace another day if I don't feel like the part that I did was cohesive with the entire project, and I just think that's a really fun way to journey through a painting. So I felt like I added enough to this painting pretty fast today. I was just kind of done with it, and so this is what I did so far. There's still a long way to go, but I am happy with it from what it was. So I have been making beads for my jewelry, but today I wanted to try to make some hair clip designs and also some one-hitters. I was inspired by my bouquet beside me to do a little fern pattern for one, and I actually ended up doing it for two. The fern ones ended up being my favorites, but yeah, these hair clips are sort of an experiment. I don't know if people will want them or if they're gonna even turn out, but they were fun to make, and I think they're gonna turn out pretty cute. I have confidence in it. So I did some plain ones just so I can paint them, and then I also did some textured ones with this mold that I got from Michaels. I think it's actually for fondant. And then I flattened it out to attempt to make some one-hitters. I cut up some paper straws, but I actually only ended up using like 2 of them because I didn't really know how I was going to do it, but then I ended up closing off both sides of the tube, and in order to do that, I had to take the straw out, and that meant I could reuse it for the other ones because it wasn't holding the structure of the roll. I made 2 sizes. I did a small and a large just because this is an experiment. I don't really know how these are going to hit or how they're going to turn out. And I also played around with the airflow holes with making it larger and smaller. And I'm excited to get these fired and then painted. For painting, I'm thinking I want to do a fruit collection, and so I want to do a peach one, a lemon one, and a cherry one, and also a flower one, and there's a lot that I want to do actually, but these are the testers. I'm going to figure out which design is the best one before I get too excited about a bunch of cute painting designs. So here are how the 4 turned out. And then also here is what the clip looks like without the fern. You can put it in the kiln and it will burn off, but I just prefer to remove it beforehand. I don't think it makes a huge difference. I don't press them in very far. Yeah, so once these dry a bit more, I'll probably clean them up and then I will fire them and then paint them later. While the sun was still up, I decided to take a couple photos for the fairy charm necklaces coming to my Etsy shop. And then I did a couple more lectures before I went and made supper. For supper, I jumped for the Annie's boxed pasta just because I was running low on time today, and then I hopped into the shower and did my skincare routine. Because of having to wear a face mask, the bottom half of my face has been super irritated and breaking out, so I've been trying to focus on moisture, and I've been using a glycolic serum that has been working really well. After I shower, once I'm completely dry, I like to do dry brushing, which is when you exfoliate all the dead skin cells off with a dry brush, and then I like to give myself a full body massage and moisturize my skin. I make sure to really focus on my neck and shoulders and also my feet. And of course, when you're done, you have to put on fuzzy socks. I tend to trust myself a bit too much with fire, and then I have the fear of God instilled into me, and so I decided it's probably a good idea to set these somewhere maybe a little more safe. And then I did my meditation and lots of stretches and yoga because I'm sitting in weird positions all day. And then it's finally time for me to be able to work on some of my personal projects and studying. Currently, I am researching quantum mechanics and free will in an attempt to disprove free will, which is kind of odd because quantum mechanics disproves determinism, and determinism is kind of one of my core arguments to why we don't have free will. Fun fact, Albert Einstein actually discovered the fundamental randomness of quantum mechanics 2 decades before Werner Heisenberg did, but despite of this, he remained a confirmed determinist for the entirety of his life, which is just such an Albert Einstein thing to do. After, I usually like to relax with either a show or a podcast, and currently I am unshamelessly rewatching the Guardians of the Galaxy's animated show, and I'm also trying to fix a daisy pattern that I'm trying to figure out how I want to do. I haven't really figured out the best method yet, but these were my attempts. And then before bed, I like to do Sudoku, read a bit, and then I'm also going to go over my notes so I can hopefully dream about studying. Yeah, so I just play a little Sudoku. I love Sudoku. I have been addicted since I was a child and had brain age. I don't know if you remember that DS game, but that is what got me super addicted to Sudoku, even into my adulthood. It was basically the same concept as the Wii Fit, except for your brain, where it told you the age group of your brain based on your ability to do puzzles and math games and also English and memory stuff. I don't know. But it was really fun. And then I just go over my notes, good old-fashioned rote learning, hoping that it sticks. I usually only read nonfiction, so I've been trying to branch out and read some fiction. I'm currently reading, I believe it's pronounced Don Quixote, which is an extremely good book so far. I've been really enjoying it, and I didn't read that far today. I was pretty tired. And so yeah, that's the end of my day. That's what I do. Thanks for following me along.